K-dramas are extremely great, but very often, they start out as this super amazing show and then plummet down, leaving viewers hanging and, frankly, a bit disappointed. Of course, this doesn't apply to all, and there are plenty of K-dramas out there that are just interesting from start to end. Let's check out these very well-written series in today's video. Number 1. Racket Boys. Starting off the list on a bright note is Racket Boys, a series that will absolutely make you grin through the entire ride. Like its name, the series follows a student male badminton team that's very close to disbanding due to the lack of members and dwindling success. Residing in the middle of nowhere and without any funds, yet this gang of boys just doesn't believe in quitting, putting in all their blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of determination. The drama started as badminton coach Hyung-jong left Seoul to go to the countryside, bringing along his son, Hae-kang. At first, Hae-kang was mad. He had to leave behind his city, fast Wi-Fi, and baseball, all to join a lacking badminton team. However, he slowly learned to appreciate his new settings, making for a wholesome character arc. Racket Boys is a melody of flawed characters who bring out the best in one another. There's hardly any scheming, just light bickering. And the characters feel fresh and young. The adults are also not perfect, with their own issues and flaws that they had to learn to overcome. The series also boasts a beautiful countryside with interesting pieces of life that hook you in. So be ready to get all mushy with feelings and unable to stop smiling when watching it. Well, considering Racket Boys' screenwriter had also contributed to Reply 1988 and Prison Playbook, there's no way that this series will disappoint you if you want something healing. Number 2. The Uncanny Counter. Now, let's delve a bit into the fantasy realm with the supernatural drama The Uncanny Counter. Aired on OCN, a broadcasting channel that specializes in heavy, dark, and gloomy series, The Uncanny Counter came as quite the surprise, retaining the channel's unique and intriguing plot, and yet was much brighter in both the theme and the delivery. The Uncanny Counter started out following the steps of So-moon, a high school student who was disabled due to a car accident that also killed his parents. After being possessed by the young spirit Weekend, he developed the power to banish evil spirits, and thus ended up joining the Counters, a group of people who hunt demons and evil spirits under the guise of a very popular noodle shop. Action-packed with numerous interesting plot points, The Uncanny Counter really stood out among its peers. We get to watch an underdog story in the form of the male lead realizing his power, a tale of found family as the Counters grow closer, political schemes, past reveals, and even a great sense of humor. Sure, the story strays from pure monster fighting to political battling near the end, but it was just enough to keep us going. And we can't forget the brilliant characterization, which manages to give everyone the spotlight, and even flesh out minor characters. Honestly, The Uncanny Counter was just highly enjoyable, and the Koreans also seemed to agree. Ratings for the series jumped from 2.7% in the first episode to over 10% in the finale, a feat very rarely achieved by a channel as underrated as OCN. Number 3. Navalera. Now, let's take a seat and get ready to bawl your eyes out, because Navalera is an emotional piece of art that will move you from the core. Long story short, this series tells the story of Shim Dok-chul, a 70-year-old retired mailman who decides to finally pursue his lifelong dream of learning ballet. He insisted, despite his family not being pleased about his course of action, and everyone telling him that it's now pointless to chase a dream. On the other side of the story, we get to meet Lee Chae-ruk, a 23-year-old ballerino who was struggling financially and close to giving up on his dancing career. After some rocky first meetings, Chae-ruk and Dok-chul ended up bringing out the best in each other, as one learned ballet and another learned a great deal of life lessons. Honestly, the series is just beautiful. Dok-chul's commitment to his dream was inspiring in many different ways, and watching his baby steps at the age of 70, we can't help but admire his determination and his urge to pursue happiness. Chae-ruk was also a roller coaster of a character, growing from a loner that held back his feelings to someone who extended trust and trusted in return. Despite being a non-romantic series, Navalera has expressed many different forms of love through the many relationships it describes. There's familial love between Dok-chul and his family, and a tender yet unique platonic family-ish love between Dok-chul and Chae-ruk, as well as other unconditional love scattered through the show. There's a love towards ballet and a love towards life. Navalera also brings a great piece of reality, and shows that there's the ups and downs to everything, even people who are supposed to love you. It embraces the theme of old age, of social prejudice, of dreams, and of appreciating what you have in life. Watching the series, I often find myself tearing up along with the character, and the tight writing never lets loose till the very end. Navalera is honestly an A+ to me. Number 4. The Crowned Clown. Well, since most of the aforementioned series are set in the modern age, let's make a tribute to historical dramas with the masterpiece The Crowned Clown. Taking place in the mid-Joseon period, the series started with extreme turbulence, with a palace filled with upheavals, power struggles, and assassination plots. Worried and angered, Yi-hon, the king of Korea at the time, puts Ha-son, a clown who looks exactly like him, on the throne. This frees him from being a target, yet, unfortunately, had upended everything. For starters, Yi-hon is a cruel and cynical king, who often bursts out in rage and punishes his officials. Meanwhile, Ha-son is a kind and goofy clown with certain bursts of creativity, and thus had swayed the favors of many allies. And the result? A lot of palace drama, a death, plenty of scheming, and a forbidden romance. Seriously, everything in this series just knocks the ball out of the park. The story is so immersive and well-written, heavy with politics, and yet with some sprinkles of romance and comedy in between. The cinematography just blows your mind away, and sometimes it feels as if you're watching a very well-produced movie. And the acting? It was extremely impressive, as everyone got their roles nailed down, especially Yo Jin-gu, who played both the king and the clown, and got down two vastly different personalities with just one face. Not too slow nor too fast, the Crowned Clown stayed strong till the very end. It draws you in with a not-so-new and yet unpredictable plot, with morally great characters that leave you torn, understanding their motivations, and yet you cannot wholly hate them. Honestly, the drama blew my mind away, and considering that its rating had doubled over time, the Korean audience shared the sentiment. Well-written, fleshed out, and engaging, the series is easily among my top historical picks. Number 5. Beyond Evil. So, since we've got comedy drama, slice-of-life drama, action drama, and historical drama, let's delve into investigation for our final pick. Yes, this is another Yo Jin-gu work, so I may be a little biased, but honestly, Beyond Evil is such a gem, snagging home 3 major awards for Best Drama, Best Actor, and Best Screenplay in the prestigious Baeksang Awards, despite going against huge competitors like Flower of Evil, It's Okay to Not Be Okay, Vincenzo, and Penthouse. Starting the drama, we are introduced to 2 main characters with contrasting personalities. The morally ambiguous Dong-sik, whose sister went missing the same time there was a murder mystery in town, and the newcomer rich kid Han Jo-won, who decided to work in this remote countryside for unknown scheme. And surely enough, the duo did not get along, with Jo-won even suspecting his colleague of being the true killer. Stifling, intense, and unpredictable, Beyond Evil is a complex drama, with a wide range of characters, all playing critical roles in the plot development. Watching the drama is like going on a treasure hunt, where you had to search for clues along with the main characters, where only after ages of digging around and getting off dirt, you will reach the true solution. Throughout the series, I find myself unable to take my eyes off the screen, gaping at every revelation, and resonating with the raw feelings brought forth by the actors. The writing itself is extremely solid, and while I did have issues with how dark the cinematography is at times, Beyond Evil just never leaves me even 1 second of boredom. And that's the list. Of course, there's a whole world of other series that I want to talk about, but time is running out. How about you tell us what K-drama that you enjoyed from start to end, and voice your thoughts about them in the comment section. And if you want more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe to Polydrama. We'll come back soon. See ya!